Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nari Dorsey. I'm here with another video on plastic pollution. In my first speech, I gave you guys some context as to what plastic pollution was, how it started, what it might look like. In my second speech, I told you guys why it was a problem, how it was impacting us, our marine wildlife, and our environment. And in today's speech, I plan on telling you guys some of the things that are being done to combat this problem and what I think we should do to combat the problem. So let's jump right into it. Now that plastic pollution has become such a talked about topic, more and more people, companies, and organizations uh, are starting to look for new ways to combat this problem. So, first up, we have Parlay and Adidas. For those of you who don't know who Parlay is a environmental protection organization. They focus on problems revolving around the ocean, and I'm pretty sure most of you know who Adidas are. These two companies or organizations have teamed up to combat plastic pollution in a very unique way. So what they do is they take recycled plastic or plastic found in the ocean and they turn it into running shoes. So Parlay, what they do is they collect all of the waste, the waste plastic that's in the ocean. They collect it, they send it to a factory where it's then processed again. After it's processed, it's then sent to Adidas. Adidas then turns that processed plastic into running shoes, which is crazy. Um, I think it's a great solution. It's smart, it's unique. I think they're the only two companies I've heard about even doing that, so shouts out to them. Next up, we have Kroger. Kroger is the U.S.'s second largest, um, not Walmart, grocery store. And they have stated that they are committed to getting rid of plastic bags by the year, completely getting rid of plastic bags by the year 2025. And what that means is they're replacing all of their single-use plastic bags with reusable plastic bags. And I think you can reuse the plastic bags up to anywhere between like 10 to 20 times maybe before you have to get a new one. And the point of that is to stop the amount of plastic waste that enters the ocean. So shouts out to them. Um, Next up, we have Lonely Well. Lonely Well is an organization headed by Mrs. Dune Ives. And what they do is they spread global awareness to the problem of plastic pollution. They have plastic pollution boot camps, which are meant to teach the youth about the ongoing problem of plastic pollution, so that way when they grow up they don't repeat the same problems that we have. Um, and what Lonely Well is also credited for is bringing about the Next Wave initiation. So what the Next Wave is it's a group of companies and organizations that come together, and they're kind of like an ideas hub where they spit out new ideas and new thoughts about how to go about this plastic pollution problem. And some of the companies that are involved are Intel, General Motors, if you guys know who they are, Trek, and many more companies. So these are just a few things that some companies and people are doing to help fight this problem. But in my opinion, all of that is great, but it's not getting to the point. I think there's a easier, more straightforward solution to how to combat this problem. So, as I've stated in my previous speech, um, countries and places with lower income and lower like a wealth status tend to produce more plastic waste and have um, issues managing their plastic waste. And a study conducted by the Helmholtz Research Center found that 90% of plastic waste that is in our ocean comes from just 10 rivers, eight of these rivers being located in Asia, and two of them being located in Africa. Now, these 10 rivers all have two things in common. The first is that uh, a lot of people live on or near them, and the cities, towns, and villages that surround these rivers have a poor infrastructure when it comes to managing their waste and plastic waste. So my solution is that wealthier nations such as the U.S. come together and we set up a fund that is specifically built or specifically made to help fix the infrastructure of these places. As I've said in my last speech, the U.S. spends about 11.5 billion per year cleaning up plastic litter, and if we just shave off a little bit, even a fraction of that money, put it into a fund, and we focus on trying to help these places where they have little to no process on how they manage their waste, then we can stop the problem at the source. And then once that happens, once the problem is stopped at its source, we can focus on cleaning the ocean up and substituting plastic out for other things, and focusing on how to clean up the plastic we have now in the ocean, instead of cleaning it up and then having to worry about another couple million tons of plastic being poured into the ocean the very next month or year or week or whatever. So once we eliminate the main problem, now we only have to focus on the problem at hand, and then bam, it's over. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, or I'm not saying that it's going to be fast. It's going to take time, but I feel like this is a completely feasible solution, and something that we should really look into. So today I've told you guys about a few of the companies and organizations that are doing things to help combat the problem, but I've also told you guys my solution and where I stand with this problem. So yeah, thank you guys for